Hey everyone, so this is video 3 in my series of Kickstart Your Business with Marketing. So starting from first principles and moving towards achieving a great start when it comes to marketing your business. So last week I dived in on a bit of a rant about backlinks and how they are misinterpreted as the golden bullet when it comes to growing your business online. So I think what a complimentary follow-on to that video for this week is going to be a bit of a discussion about some of the things that I would recommend to start with when growing your business online. So when you've got a new website, so let's go from the beginning. So you're a new business and you have just created your website. You've maybe, put £5,000 down on a deposit for the person to create the website for you. So you think, okay, let's go. Let's start my business. Let's grow it online. Let's see what goes, see how it goes. So you find a web developer, you give them some money, they make you a design, it takes 6 months, everything's hunky-dory, put it online. So then you go, okay, what now? So fundamentally, where you should start is from day one. Generally, you want to be sort of creating content for that website. So, and the reason you want to do that is because there's this thing called keywords. So you hear a lot of marketing people say, oh, keywords this, keywords that. But all it really is just words that the search consoles and search engines, I should say, look for when it comes to ranking a website. So they'll kind of go, okay, there's 10 websites here and each of them has X many keywords. And essentially, all you want to be doing is putting words into content on your website that are highly relevant to your target audience or niche. So a good example would be if your website was based around baking. I don't know why that's come to mind. I think it was because I was in a seminar recently and I was sat next to someone who professed that they just didn't want to do any of the things and they just wanted to bake. And I thought that was really great of them that that's what they wanted to do, but also I was a little bit concerned about sort of them growing from a longevity's point of view with their website. So what they could do is they could do something simple as start a blog on their website, and it could be sort of, the fundamentals of baking a pie, for example. And their audience would be interested, and they would also help the internet as a whole, because people would be kind of like, oh, well, how do I bake a pie? How do I create one? And I think that's really interesting from the point of view of what kind of content you could put out. So you could create that article, and then within the article, you could come up with a title that people would find interesting. So it could be sort of the golden rule of baking a pie, for example. So people go, oh, well, that sounds interesting. So I'll click on that. And then from within there, you also want sort of keywords and sentences and phrases that are useful and relevant to that content in particular. So it could be, stereotypically where you want to begin with that kind of thing is there are free tools out there. A lot of them are paid for. A great one for doing research is, people used to say to use Google AdWords, which now has become Google Ads. So in a kind of way, there is a keyword planner in there which is free, but it's all based on the pretense that you'll use Google Ads. So you used to be able to kind of do that. I'm not entirely sure. They don't make a big deal out of it anymore, and I don't know whether it's still really a feature of Google Ads. It used to just be free. A good place to start, though, if you're looking for a tool to kind of figure out what keywords to start putting into your content, is there is a guy called Neil Patel, and he has a tool called Ubersuggest, and that's a great place to start for free. I believe it's free. And you essentially just, as if you followed along these videos so far and you've created a Google Search Console account or a Google Analytics, I just triggered Google Analytics account, you will be able to use that as part of Ubersuggest. All the noises. And the great thing about that is that Ubersuggest uses Google Search Console data. So if you started using Google Search Console and Analytics, you'll have a bit of a head start on that. And within Ubersuggest, there's the functionality to search keywords and sort of check their traffic against sort of how those words rank against, put my words in my mouth. So the keywords, you put the keywords into Ubersuggest, and then it will tell you whether people are searching for those phrases. So the trick to kind of growing initially is to start populating your website with keywords. And the reason you want to do that is because the more keywords you have on the website, the more likely it is you are going to rank for the phrases that people are searching for. So in our situation, in our example, we're talking about a bakery, and they're making pies and making pasties and things like that. And they want to kind of start populating the website with relevant keywords to that niche. Another thing to think about, though, is you don't have to be super specific. You can kind of branch out a little bit. And what I mean by that is you can kind of sort of take it away from the emphasis on the subject itself. So you can kind of go a little bit outside of that. So you could kind of say, well, this article is going to be about how to bake pies and stuff like that. And then the next article could be like the best ingredients for making whatever it is at home. So you could kind of start looking at the people who are just shopping in general and they're looking for ideas. You could also put a spin on it, and it could be sort of like gift ideas for the baker in your life and things like that. So you kind of start shifting the target audience towards your website. There'll be different people and different search intent. So that's a good word. That's a word to think about, is the search intent. So you kind of want to think about the search intent behind the search, basically. So a good one is, there's a handful of different search intents that people will have nine times out of 10. One of them will be sort of commercial. So they'll be kind of looking at commercial business to try and figure out something for their own business. So if you're a baker and you're a bakery, you might be a commercial business, so someone looking to fulfill an order for the Christmas party or something like that, which is highly relevant at the moment. That is sort of a commercial intent. You might also have a private individual who'll be looking to buy there and then, so they might want to do a digital order with you. So that would be classed as a transactional search intent. I mean, the specifics of people's search intent is not super relevant at the moment. What I'm trying to get across is that keywords are one of the building blocks to help grow your website, first and foremost. You don't have to do content, like you don't have to kind of make blogs and stuff like that. You can simply start by just adding relevant content to the pages that naturally appear on your website anyway. So say you've got an order page that's full of different things that you're selling. You could fill that page out with relevant words, so things that would be relevant to those that are trying to buy those products. And likewise services as well. So if you're a photographer, a good example there is people sort of sometimes they get a bit sort of bottled down in what keywords they should put and things like that, but the more natural the better. So if you're, say, a photographer and you're trying to grow online, you kind of want to target the person that is trying to use your services. So it might be that you're a mom and you're looking for low-cost photography for like a Christmas card or something. So you want just someone to take some pictures of your family, and then you can put them online, go to use like Photobox or something and get some cards made, something like that. So that's a good one. So that's the product page. So you could even like the contact page. Like the general rule of thumb with keywords and starting your website is every page should have a minimum of 300 words. Whether they're keywords or not doesn't really matter. It's more that you're kind of starting, because essentially Google ignores anything below 300. It just thinks that they're just pages, and they might just be functional pages on your website. They might not actually do anything, or they might not have the relevance that people require. So anything below 300 keywords, 300 normal words. So Google will ignore those because it will either think that the page is spam or it's just functional and doesn't really serve much purpose other than what it was designed for. Sometimes I found with WordPress, for example, if you built your website on WordPress, if you use the plugin Advanced Custom Fields Pro, I think it's called, sort of search gets a bit confused because it starts thinking that it doesn't sort of validate the words that you put into the custom fields in WordPress. So that's like a complication, but it's completely irrelevant for this video. It's like another topic. So fundamentally, the first thing you want to do, you've just built your website, you've paid your developer, it's up online, it's ready to go, you've logged in for the first time, you're like, well, what do I do now? So number one, get your words up on your website. So start thinking about keywords that are relevant. Even if you think they're just a bit ambiguous, sometimes those can work well. Look at search intent. So think about the search intent that the people have got. So commercial, transactional, information gathering. Sometimes people are not ready to buy, but they might become ready to buy over time. Especially, and the other thing too, is people are more likely to buy from the people that they know or they think that get them. So for example, if you start putting out relevant content for your business on your website and people start reading articles from you more specifically, they're more likely to purchase from yourself as well, because they'll feel like they know you and your business and what you're about and stuff like that too. So yes, so fundamentally, number one, grow traffic with your website. You've just built it, is to start populating it with content, words and keywords and things like that. Think about search intent. Number two, you can think about some of the technicalities of a website. So what we talk about as marketers is this thing called technical SEO. So it's not immediately relevant if you've just built your website, but it's something to think about. So one of the things that I see people trip up on quite quickly with technical SEO is they think about they start populating their website with images. There we go. So the images themselves sometimes are not a desirable size, so they're a little bit too big. And the issue with this is that when your images are too large, they can bog down your website and the server running it. So they can just get a little bit too much for the website. So whenever I mention technical SEO, what I'm referring to, when I mention technical SEO, what I'm referring to is sort of the stuff that you don't see. So the back end kind of stuff. And fundamentally, this generally falls into a handful of categories. So the categories are sort of the speed from which your website loads, the size of like images and stuff like that, and then sort of technical nitty-gritty things like whether pages can be found or not, whether they've been destroyed or they're broken, things like that. When you first have your website, don't worry about technical SEO. First of all, the only thing I want you to think about when you've got your website up and running is to just make sure your images are not very big. So if you take a high resolution photograph, which most people do now with smartphones and DSLR cameras and things like that, is think about compressing it. So bring it down to 80% of a JPEG. So if you've got Photoshop or something, you can export the image at 80% of the size. So you kind of want to aim around 2 meg, something like that. Fundamentally, that's the only thing I want you to think about from a technical standpoint when you've just built your website. So from there, so you've got your website, it's newly built, you started creating content, you started to rank for keywords, you've got all the other stuff from the other videos, so Search Console, Google Analytics, stuff like that. Next thing was technical SEO. So don't worry too much about it. Just make sure that like your images aren't too big and things like that. The third thing is when you have got your website, obviously you want to start thinking about placement of the website. So if you have a website and you don't really tell anyone about it, essentially it's just going to kind of disappear unless you're kind of actively doing stuff with it. So what I mean by that is you've got your content, which is great. So you're going to start indexing regardless. The other thing though is, I'm not going to go too deep into this because I had a bit of a rant about it in my last video, but essentially backlinking. So what this means is backlinks essentially just tell Google that your website is trustworthy or relevant. Simply, plain and simple. And the reason this is important is because the more trustworthy your website is deemed to be, the higher up the search pages you'll become. So the long and short of it is people obsess over this bit too much because it's a bit of a kind of a dark art, backlinking, and as I mentioned in my last video, it's a bit of a handshake process. It's got to be mutually beneficial for the two websites involved, and it's got to be relevant too, which makes it more difficult. So if it wasn't already difficult, it's even more difficult because you've got to make sure it's niche specific. So yes, so once you have got the content in place, you're starting to put keywords in. You've got your bit of a technical SEO kind of head on. You want to start thinking about the placement. So the most obvious places that people put their website when they start is social media. Social media is fine, but the only downside is you don't gain any credibility really from search, just because of the nature of social media. Facebook and the likes of Instagram and stuff like that, they know that that's what you're doing. If you're putting your website on there, say you have your page on Instagram or Facebook or whatever for your business, and you put it in the little URL that's attached to your profile, you won't gain any backlink sort of juice, as they say, from that, just because Facebook don't want you taking away their sort of massive domain rating and things like that. Likewise, if you have an Etsy store and things like that, and you link out to your website, you're just not going to get any domain ranking per se. You get a little bit. I think it's kind of hinted at that you got a little bit of trust just because that's where you've put your website. So placement. So the third thing is you want to be thinking about placement of your website. Fundamentally, don't obsess over backlinks straight away. Just start simply with the other things we mentioned. You want to, if you're going to start with it, you kind of want to think about people that you know and work your way from there. Sort of build your network that way. So if you've got friends who are in business and they have a website and you know them really well, you just get to say, hey, can you give me a shout out on your website? And you can maybe do some content for them just to complement what they're doing. And likewise, bit of a handshake, as I say, mutually beneficial. And that'll speak volumes for your website. So yeah, so things we've covered so far, you have built your website, you're building content, you've got your keywords, you've got your technical SEO sort of bit of a thing there. You understand about sort of compressing your images before you put them up, things like that. And then placement, so putting things on different websites, making sure that they're linking to you and things like that, so you gain a little bit of traction that way, which will help with overall ranking. So fundamentally, those are kind of the things, the places where you want to start. Next, from there, we're kind of talking about off-site SEO kind of stuff. So what I mean by that is we're talking about things like email marketing and things like that. So what I like to tell people, and what I do personally, and I think it's really important, is when you have your website and you have a newly founded business, number one, if you take nothing else away from this video, I want you to put a landing page on your website that enables you to grow your email list. It's not glamorous. It takes forever. People are a bit skeptical when they subscribe to things like that. But believe you me, in all this time that I've been marketing, some of the most successful strategies I've had have involved email. No matter what anyone says, email marketing is great. And if you don't take my word for it, listen to someone like Tim Ferriss with his 5-Bullet Friday. He's got tens of millions of subscribers and they love his content. And if you've ever noticed when you go shopping or whatever online, they always ask for an email address. Why are they asking for an email address? Because you're pretty receptive. You know, you've already purchased. You are kind of in the right frame of mind for whatever else they've got going on. I mean, you're welcome to unsubscribe, you know, people are welcome to just ignore you. But a lot of the time people do engage, and I tell people when they're starting out, you know, you should consider email. Like, talk to your customers. You know, they like to get that close connection with you. Social media is a big deal nowadays. Everyone's like, oh, social media this, social media that. But I mean, one-on-one email, you know, you're a good if you're good at writing, perfect. If you're not as good at writing, get better. Because it is such a great place to market your business. I mean, you don't even have to market to people. You can just kind of talk to them. People love to be spoken to. You know, not everybody is super into social media, especially if you are, So algorithms. So that's what that gets me onto. So social media and algorithms and email. You know, email, you're not really governed by an algorithm. The only thing you've got to think about is to make sure that the content that you send to your email list is relevant and not spammy to a degree. So you don't really want to kind of spam people, because what that does is it puts a bit of black mark against the domain that you've purchased for your business. And you see it all the time, sort of people, and they'll sort of send you nonsense via email, and all the while they're doing that, the worse their delivery is getting. So that's the only thing you've got to consider. You don't have to worry about algorithms. You don't have to worry about sort of what's trending online. It can be whatever you want to talk about to your audience. But the most difficult part is getting people to subscribe and stay there. And you can do that in a number of ways. You just got to build like a tribe of people that love what you're doing. And everything else kind of falls into place from there. So if you put a new article out, you can say, hey, on email, you can say, hey, look, I've got this new article. It's about this. I thought you might find it interesting. Or you say, I've got an offer on this week. You can come and get, I don't know, as we spoke about earlier, you know, pies and a bakery. You can say, oh, I've got a special on this week, and come down and get 50% off, quote this code or whatever. And what you'll find is people are pretty receptive to that. And they'll be like, oh yeah, I like this guy. So I'll go and check out what he's got. Yeah, I mean, social media, you know, everyone buzzes it around and say, oh, social media, this and that. But it's all very fickle. It's all very superficial. And I know like Shark Tank, things like that, they're like, oh, how many people saw your video on TikTok and they go, oh, tens of millions, and they go, oh, great. And they go, how many sales did you make? And they go, like 2. And they go, oh. And like, essentially, if you focused as much time on email as you do on social media marketing, you probably have a higher conversion rate overall. At least in my experience, marketing for my day job and sort of with my clients too. People love talking to people, and if you remove that friction and you enable it so that they can communicate with you easily and frictionlessly, they're more likely to convert. And there's a handful of people that I respect and look up to, and they all believe in marketing. So I think you should as well, even if you think it's a bit silly. That's all I'm going to say on that one. So we've covered all those different bases. Another great platform after this is to another great platform is so you've grown your website via keywords for starters. You've started to put out content regularly. You've dabbled a little bit into technical. So as a newly started business, this is all great stuff. And you understand like image compression, things like that. You're like, oh yeah, keep the images to a certain size. Great. Number three was placement. So yeah, you've grown your website a little bit with placement. You've used your network, circles and things like that. You've expanded your audience, your network internally, I should say. Number 4 is all about so number 4 was, what was number 4? Yes. So number 4 was offsite SEO. So when we talk about offsite SEO, we're talking about, so number 4, the last thing we covered was, so you have now started fundamentally growing your business online without even realizing it. So follow these handful of steps and believe me, you start seeing some growth with your website, which is what we want. So I'm going to cut it there because things are getting a little bit long, and I think I've been talking for too long, and I hope you found this useful. And please subscribe, leave me a comment down below. I'll be hanging out down there as usual. And I have a website if you want to sign up to my newsletter. Hint, hint. It's just jamesholder.com, and check it out. And I'm hoping to have some more content there soon. Stay tuned, and subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Cheers.